Hey guys, welcome back to the Human Condition. I want to start off by saying thank you guys so much for all the support on my recent videos. I really appreciate it. I can't express how much it means to me. So thank you guys so much for watching, especially all the ones commenting and all the ones just viewing in general. I really appreciate it. It means a lot to me. And in this video, we'll be talking about another biology video, and it is what Abbott Elementary characters represent different brain chemicals. And so this is another series that you guys seem to really like. I did one with How I Met Your Mother and The Umbrella Academy, so I thought, what's another great show that people seem to really like and that I've watched before? It's Abbott Elementary. So I was like, that'd be a cool one to do for brain chemicals. So I was like, yeah, I'll do this one. So this video, we talk about what brain chemical I think represents each character from Abbott. Starting off, this one was actually pretty tough for me. The other ones were pretty easier, but this one was actually kind of tough because there's a lot of different brain chemicals that could represent each character. Like Gregory, for example, I couldn't decide if I wanted him to be serotonin or cortisol or GABA. But I think I've decided on oxytocin, and I'll tell you why. But first, start with the Janine. Janine, I think, is the good representation of serotonin. The reason being is Janine is always so optimistic and so happy in the show. She's always so excited to learn something new and to teach the kids. She comes in with a lot of enthusiasm. It's pretty awesome. She comes in with a lot of enthusiasm, is always happy, wants to grow as a person and help the school grow. So I think she's a good example of what serotonin embodies, which is optimism, keeping the group together. The only thing I struggle with is, like, unlike in How Much Your Mother, I gave Marshall, I think, serotonin because he kept the group together. I don't know if I don't know if she keeps the group necessarily, the teachers together, but I guess she does because she, at some point, also spoilers if you haven't seen most Abbott Elementary. This is gonna be like from 1 to 4, so I just want to let you know just in case you plan to watch some and you don't want anything spoiled. But I guess she does kind of keep the teachers together when she joins the board of education, and well, briefly. So I guess she does. So I guess I could say she does keep the people together, teachers together in a way, just not as quite as noticeable as how Marshall keeps the group together in How I Met Your Mother. So she would be a good embodiment of serotonin because of the optimism, the keeping the teachers together and being motivated to help the school grow and to grow as a person. I think Miss Barbara Howard represents norepinephrine. And my last video I gave, when I did Umbrella Academy, I gave this to 5. Norepinephrine is motivation and a little bit of stress, but stress and motivation to take action. I gave Barbara this because similar thing is not able to, doesn't really likes to be the authority, doesn't really like to listen to authority. And it's not that Barbara can't, Miss Howard can't listen to authority. She just doesn't really like to a ton. And we can see this a lot when in the show, the new board members try to come in to Abbott and instruct like new rules and stuff, and she's like, no, I don't like this type of thing. And it's mainly because she's just, to be fair, she is really experienced of teaching, and she's done it for many years, so it's understandable why she could be upset by all these new people coming in that just got started doing the teaching career, telling her how to run the school. That can make sense. So this is why this disdain, I guess, kind of towards being their own boss and like not liking to take follow the rules is kind of like a norepinephrine trait. And she does seem pretty motivated to take action to fix the school. And she even tells Janine, I think, we can't rely on the district to help us. We have to help our school do it ourselves type of thing. And I think that's a good embodiment of what norepinephrine stands for, like do it yourself type of thing. Don't let anyone tell you how to do it, just do it yourself. I think Barbara, Miss Howard, represents this a ton. And that helps and she helps Janine really motivated as a person to grow as a better person and to help the school. So I think that's pretty lit, pretty cool. I think Jacob, I gave cortisol because he's really funny, he's cool, but he's also very stressed out a lot of times. Like, he's always worried he's gonna say the wrong thing, do the wrong thing. Kind of like how when I put in my videos disclaimer, if I say anything controversial, I'm sorry, I take it back. Kind of like that, I guess. He's always worried he's going to say the wrong thing or do the wrong thing. So that's why I gave Jacob cortisol. Because cortisol is a stress hormone, the difference between cortisol and norepinephrine is cortisol is positive in a way, but because it helps you plan out the far future, but it doesn't really motivate you to take action like norepinephrine. That's a stress hormone that gives you motivation, whereas cortisol is a stress hormone that makes you plan stuff out a lot, but not really take action. And that's why I gave Jacob cortisol. Everyone's favorite, Mr. Johnson, the chill guy. He does what he wants. Sometimes says the most out of pocket things. I gave him GABA, the chill hormone, because I thought that would make the most sense. He's really chill guy. Mr. Johnson just comes out of nowhere. He's just really chill. He's pretty funny. He just kind of shows up out of the blue and says the most random stuff. And because of that, I think I'd give him GABA, I guess, because of his demeanor and his chill vibe to him. He's got a really chill vibe. So I think I'd give him GABA for that one. Gregory Eddie, this one I had really tough because I could honestly see him being stressed out, kind of like Jacob, just not to the same extent, because he's a little uptight in sometimes in the show, but he's also chill and fun-loving other times and optimistic. So it's really, he kind of doesn't really fit a character like a stereotype very well. Gregory Eddie is very unique in that sense. Kind of like if I ever did one for The Office, which I might do in the future, kind of like Jim. Very similar to Jim from The Office. Observant, funny, level-headed, and can fit into multiple boxes. Doesn't really fit into one singular box. So it's very tough but for him, I thought about it and I was like, it's usually most of the time girls, I feel like girls would be more oxytocin, but he does seem to be relationship oriented. Like I gave Ted this oxytocin, I'm gonna give him oxytocin, because if you think about it, Gregory is really relationship oriented. Later on in the seasons, sorry if I spoiled anything. Later on in the seasons, because he gets in a relationship with Janine, he's very caring and emotion based, kind of like Ted from How I Met Your Mother, but just not quite to that extent. So that's why I give him oxytocin, very loving and caring person, but just like the guy version of it, I guess, and a little more low key than I would say Ted from How I Met Your Mother, but he still has that noticeable romance type of personality that desires to be in a romantic relationship. So that's why I gave him oxytocin. And that's but it was really tough when I was trying to figure out Gregory. So I was like, dang, I don't know what to really give him, because he just doesn't seem to fit into one box. I knew from the get-go when I first made this video, I'm like, yeah, Janine's definitely gonna be serotonin. The optimism is through the roof, so there's no way I wasn't gonna give her serotonin. But I was very tempted to give her oxytocin because she is loving and caring as well, and very romance oriented. And in fact, she was in a relationship when the series started, so that would even be more oxytocin based. So it's very close between the two, but I think I'm going to stay with Gregory being oxytocin and her being serotonin, just from her sheer optimism. And finally, we got Ava, one of the most funny characters on the show, most out of pocket, most hers was not tough, I don't think. I mean, she does have character development, which is good, and becomes more caring throughout the show. But her main core personality traits that are funny stay the same, which is good. And so for this reason, I'd give her the embodiment of dopamine. I think she's the embodiment of dopamine because, similar to like Barney and how I gave him dopamine in How I Met Your Mother, she's very self-oriented, not very impulse. Like, I feel this way, I'm gonna do it type of thing. Kind of like Barney from How I Met Your Mother, and kind of like Diego from The Umbrella Academy. She's very self-based, but also very motivated and driven, I'd say, because she at one point did take time to learn how to be better, and improve. And even though she kind of regressed back to her original way, I believe probably later down the road in future seasons she'll have more character development as time goes on. So yeah, these are my characters from Abbott Elementary are the embodiment of different brain chemicals. So in conclusion, Gregory is probably oxytocin. Janine is serotonin. Mr. Johnson is GABA. Um, Ava is dopamine. Miss Howard is norepinephrine. And I don't know if I said Jacob. Jacob is cortisol. And I know I forgot Miss Schminty. I just didn't think of one for her. But maybe I could honestly probably just have a little like suggestive, violent, funny, violent, or aggressive themes. So she could be like borderline adrenaline, but I wouldn't want to give her adrenaline. But I'll give her borderline adrenaline, probably. Kind of like how in the last video I gave Jack Griffin adrenaline. She's not quite there. So maybe borderline adrenaline, but I wouldn't give her adrenaline. I won't officially give her like adrenaline. But yeah, those are all the brain chemicals for Abbott Elementary characters. I hope you guys like this video. My next video, because we go like in a cycle, I'll probably be astrology, another astrology video. That would probably be what does it mean to be a Virgo moon. As always, thanks again for watching. Like and subscribe if you want. I love you guys. I'll see you in the next one.